Hello and welcome to Gadget Joe, and today we are at Techmax 24. Now, I've been posting about this quite a lot recently on the channel, and a lot of you will be familiar with what it is, but I will leave a link in the description down below so you can get some more information. This is going to be basically me vlogging the day. I'm going to try and get some footage of how it all is throughout the day so that you can get an idea of what the event is like. It's a huge place. It's an old steel mill, however you want to say it. It's an enormous place, and I've already been inside, got me press pass, been in and got it all sorted, introduced myself to a few people, got everything ready, got my cameras. I'm just recording a lot of this on a little DJI pocket mic, so the audio is going to be a little bit different to usual, but it should hopefully be quite clear so that you can see and hear what's going on. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm going to do some videos in the following few days as well to basically see what's on the stalls. There's a lot of stalls from the likes of FAL Take, MSI, Be Quiet, and a lot of the other bigger brands. So we're going to take a look at some of the products that are available. So we're going to start off with some FAL Take products. We've got the new Tower 300, which is an absolutely stunning design. Obviously this can be mounted upright, as you can see on these here, but you can also get an additional bracket which sits on the bottom, and then that allows it to mount on its side, which I think looks absolutely fantastic because you can really get a good view of everything inside. It does come with a little screen included. Obviously you can customize that to a whatever you want on there basically. They also have the Tough Power GFA 3 in the blue, which the blue components look absolutely fantastic. It's hydrangea blue, as it says. They do come in different colours. You've got some that you can see on here. You've got the black, white, the blues, purple, lilac, whatever you want to call it. You've got different greens, gold and pink. These are actually on the FAL Take monitors. These are 27-inch 1440p 165Hz monitors. They're both on the FAL Take twin monitor arm as well, so they've got pretty much everything you need to go. And obviously then you have a FAL Take keyboard here and a very unusually looking mouse, but it looks absolutely fantastic. This is the Argent M5 ARGB. Right, what we have here is some of the EX12 fans that we actually recently recovered on the channel, which obviously have the reversible airflow fan blades, so you can just switch them out on these so that they obviously switch to a push or pull configuration. You've got the 140mm ones here and then the 120mm ones here. Now, on the video that I did, I actually mentioned that you can only do 3 of them, which is actually not true. You can do up to 10 on one single cable. So as you can see here, there's 6 of them all running off one cable, and I can disconnect that just to show that obviously the power is connected to those. And then obviously connect it back up again and they all start to flow. You can obviously go up to 10 and then they start to lose power. Well, not lose power, but lose effectiveness and speed, so obviously the airflow will be restricted. You do also have the EX240 fans, AIOs here, which we've got in for review, which is coming out very shortly. You've got the 360 and another 360, the non-ARGB version here. We've also got some extra twin tower coolers. And then you have some smart BX3 750 watt and 650 watt ATX 3.1 power supplies here as well. Right, we've got the Origin store now here, and they have plenty of them here. They've got some of their own products. They have the Valkyrie stuff now. Obviously, we recently covered this on the channel. This is the Sin 240. I think this might actually be the 360 variant. No, it's a 240. You can see it here. You've got some different docking stations at the bottom here. And then obviously the Jan 240, which we also covered on the channel. And then some extra features, you've got the 3 pens, which I'll grab one of those obviously. Then you've got the graphics cards on here from Inno3D. You've got a 4060 Ti, 4070, a lovely 4080 there, which is a super variant. Then you have some Urban Factory, which is one of our in-house brands for dongles and headphones and mice and peripherals in general, and obviously lots of different laptop bags. And then you do have some more Lexar storage components such as RAM and SSDs and so on. What we have here is a Deep Cool store, and obviously some of you will know that I've actually recently reviewed this. This is the Assassin 4. This scored the results for the best cooler that I've reviewed to date. It is absolutely fantastic in performance. They do have some other products. They have a picture of me on there in the wind. Obviously this screen is one of the, actually we've got a newer version of this coming out very shortly, which I've explained will actually beat the performance of this, so I'm very keen to see that for myself when I get hold of one. And then they've also got a 360 version here. This one doesn't have a screen like that, but it does have some digits. In fact, you can see how it looks here. And then you've got the Infinity series, the LT720s, which have the infinity mirror on the design, a very smart looking one. And then you've got the white new coolers here, and the AG400, as well as the Deep Cool case here, with some interesting little noggins that you can basically customise on the front here to look exactly how you want them to. I'm sure there's obviously been some questionable pictures on there this evening, so yeah. Right, here we have the new Antec Core HS Handheld. This was actually debuted in Computex, and it is an absolutely fantastic piece of kit. It's a company that has been working with Antec, that's not actually Antec's own build, but they're obviously using the technology inside it. It actually features a AMD Ryzen 7 7840U processor with an AMD 780M graphics card. Now the box does say it's got 16GB, but they actually have a 32GB and 2TB unit, so it's got 32GB of DDR5 RAM, which is actually at 7200 megathreads, and then you've got 2TB drive in there. As you can see, it does have a built-in keyboard which just simply slides up and down so that you can use it through that. The screen is a 1080p display on it, but it actually looks in person, I don't know if you can really get it on the camera, in person it looks absolutely fantastic. I thought originally it was probably more a 1440 or even a 4K screen, because it looks fantastic. It does have a dock that you can get with it, which is this INIO. In fact, that's a company there, INIO multi-station, which allows you to connect it to a external monitor, as you can see here. Now this external monitor then allows you to control everything from the handheld. Now the handheld does obviously come out so that you can use it on its own. As you can see here, it does have a bit of weight to it, but it does have a really solid build quality as well. It's very, very well made. You do have the fan at the back for the CPU, and it blows out through here at the back, and it does get quite warm, but obviously it's been on all day for people using it. So that's obviously docked back in, and as you can see, it's going to come up on the monitor that you see here. On the top here you can see some of the information. Now this is playing the game here with 59 FPS on the top, and the temperature is only 64.5 degrees with an 89% GPU usage, so it's keeping it nice and cool. It does feel quite warm at the hands, but obviously that's naturally because it's going to be using it in your hands, whereas on a normal computer you don't use that in your hands. It does come with this rather funky little antique case as well. This fits everything in there with some space for cables and anything like that you need. You can get additional accessories such as the screen protector and some joystick caps, and then it does come in a rather interesting little box that you can see here. Now this one is the Taiwanese sample box, so obviously, as I mentioned earlier, the specs on this one is slightly different to the one that you see here. When you're controlling it and using it, it feels really nice and comfortable in hand. I did have a play around with it. It does feel a bit like a Switch almost with the controls, just quite slightly chunkier. Again, very, very impressive piece of kit. Right, we're now clicking at about 3:30, so people are starting to shut down and tear down their stalls. Obviously, as you can see, it's still really quite busy. It's a very impressive turnout this year. There was about 650 people turning up, and obviously it's a very large room, so hopefully next year should be a little bit bigger. Some fantastic products on display, including things like this. Obviously I've got a modern system in an old CRT monitor setup. It looks absolutely fantastic. It's really nice to see the ingenuity behind companies and products, and obviously what they're doing with it. I'm going to try and cover a little bit more, but the award shows coming up very shortly, and then there's like a little casino going on after this as well. Right, and what we're looking at now is in a rather blinded light, because obviously we've got the lights on here, is the Case King UK store. Now Case King actually are the main sponsors for Techmax, so they have provided a lot of the resources and such as the catering for this event. Now they do have different divisions. Obviously we've got things like Streamplify, which is here, which is mainly focused at streaming. So obviously they've got some really nice quality products, but they're also very affordable. Like you've got a 1440p video capture card here for just $109.99. You've also got some USB hubs with a hub deck, so you've got controls here, and then some high quality webcams. I've seen that work in action. Actually the picture quality is very, very good. They even do acoustic panels. You get 6 of these in a pack, and they are $53.99. Again, very fantastic little details. They do the lights. I can't really look at them because they are blinding in the camera. And then you've obviously got a more higher quality webcam here. This is $83.99, but it's a 4K camera. You also have another controller here, and then a microphone as well on the left here. Moving over to here, you've got the racing sim setups. You've got here the KS steering wheel, CRP, racing pedals, and the direct drive wheelbase, which is obviously what you can connect the Formula wheel here or the steering wheel to, and then have it for a full sim setup. They actually have one set up here, which this guy's just about to try. This is a sim racing setup. It's got a full ultra wide screen here, and then people have been trying it and obviously getting the best times on the scoreboard here. And then we're going to move to some of the cases that they sell. This is a Lian Li O11 Vision. This is one of the newer ones. It's an absolutely stunning one. You've got the seamless design here, so obviously they've still got their packaging on here because they are still products that we're going to have to sell. But as you can see, there's no pillars here, there's nothing. Everyone's knows the Lian Li O11. It's sort of flooded the market for a while. They do also have their Unifans, the LCD 120. This has got a little LCD screen in there. Then you have the Unifan SL120 V2. This doesn't have the screen, but it all connects magnetically as well. And then you've got the black version as well. You've also got the Lancool 3 RGB, that's $129.95 for the case. And as you can see, it is a pretty generic white case. It's got a very similar look to a Be Quiet case. Then obviously moving along, you've got the Fantex part. This one here, you've got the Glacier 1 240, a nice little AIO. It's quite a bit of a pricey one, but obviously it's from what I've been speaking to, it's got some quite good performance on that. Love to get my hands on that and see what it's like for myself. This is the D30 120mm PWM fan. You do get one fan in this box, just back to size, and then obviously the black version here. And then you've got the XT Pro Ultra. Now this is quite a cheap case, it's quite a nice case as well. You get all the fans included for the price. It's just £66.95 for that case. And it's pretty standard ATX case, pretty run-of-the-mill as you can see with most cases. And then you've got the XT View ATX case here, which is a little bit more expensive but a nicer case all around. You've got the pillarless design, borderless design here, and it looks very nice. It's a full ATX case and you get those fans included with it as well. And then you move up to the NV5, which is one of their newer cases with the staggered PSU shroud and the RGB lighting in there as well. Very, very nice case, and actually a very good price at £89.99. You do not get any fans with this one now. Moving up next, you get the Endgame Gear, which is a ridiculously heavy keyboard. I can't really put into context how heavy this is on camera, but it's so heavy. This is the KB65HE and they retail at £138.95. You've got lots of sort of different mice here. You've got some wireless ones and wired ones, ranging from about £49.99 up to about £79.99. And then you have some Ducky keyboards, here. And Ducky are a quite up-and-coming brand. They've got some really good quality products. Again, quite heavy. They are wireless ones, with obviously classic full-size ones, ranging from £99.95 up to £129.95, and in different sizes. You've got the full-size keyboards, and then you've got the 10 keyless ones here. This is more from a Case King store, and this is one of their own brands. This is a brand called Haven, whichever you want to call it, and it is a brand new product. Now, what I wanted to show you on this one is the incredibly sharp corner on the glass here. As you can see, it is very tight. Compare it to the likes of a standard one, which is a bit more of a gentle curve. This is about the limit of what you're going to get before it starts snapping or becoming a right angle, and it's an absolutely fantastic design. Now, it is a very large case, as you can see, but it's very, very well engineered and laid out. You have the twin 140mm fans or 120mm fans at the back, and then obviously mounts for here that you can have additional fans on there. Now you can obviously vertically mount your GPU with a bracket here, and you have some additional space on the side. Now the grommets on this actually feature little rails on there, and that's designed to grab the cables and hold them into place. At the top you have the mesh grill, which just simply lifts off, as you can see, through here. It's a very nice, unique design on the top. You do have two USB 2 and USB 3 and a USB-C port at the top, and then plenty of storage, caddies, and the back of the rear as well. It comes in white and black, so there's two different options. It is a bit of a pricey case. The $199 is the HS 420 Premium Mid Tower, and then you've got the HS 420 vGPU, so that's basically the same thing. This one is a bit more expensive at $270.99. The reason it's more expensive is because you have that vertical GPU riser in there. Right, just before they close everything down, because they're just starting to close everything down because it's now 4 o'clock, the event is starting to close off, I'm going to show some of the other cases. These are the Colink cases, and actually there's some really interesting ones. Right, so this is a Colink, this one's getting a lot of attention. This is the Big Chungus Hench edition, $129.95, a very interesting looking case. Obviously, as you can see, it's got a very ergonomic design, quite motorbike-esque, so it's a very nice one to see. You've got the Core Adept braided cable extension kit, so these are $34.99. Come in different colours, obviously, as you can see, so that you can customise your case to how you want it. You have the Umbra AX180 Black Edition CPU cooler. This is a very nice low profile, well, not low profile, it's a tall cooler, but it's very slimline. These are $27.95. You then have the Observatory HF Mesh ARGB, $49.99, a nice generic ATX case here. You've got the same one in white, which is $43.99, a little bit cheaper. Does come with the fans included on that as well. You've got the Unity Peak ARGB MIDI Tower Showcase, and this is $84.95 with some really interesting looking fans on this and a borderless, pillarless design on the front. You also have a plethora of power supplies, the integrated Gold series, the 750 watts and the 600 watts, $41.99 and $69.95. Then you have the Deluxe G2 850, and you've got that in different models. Obviously you've got the Deluxe G1 850 here, so you've got all different ones. The Deluxe G2, Max P1 1300, you've got the Premier G1 1000, Deluxe G1 850, Smart B1 750, and a Smart W1 700. They range from around $59.99 all the way up to an impressive $279.99. This case is very popular. This is a H700A curved case. This is all glass, it's all solid. I was a bit hesitant to touch it until they obviously showed me that it's a really solid design. You get all these fans included with it as well. So a very, very well equipped case, and a very nice looking case as well in all white. You then have some extra coolers. You've got the Oasis L360 AIO cooler. Very nice cooler here with quite good competitive price point of $99.99. You've got a white version here which is $169.99, and that's because you have a large screen on it. You can actually orientate it around. Can't do that at a minute because he's wired it through on the base here, so it's obviously stuck to here, but you can manipulate that around to the angle which you wish to have it at. You then have a Drift V2 MIDI Tower ATX case, $59.99. Comes with the fans as well. You've got 4 120mm and 2 140mm fans. A very, very well equipped case for $59.99. Much cheaper price point here, just a standard case. This is a mini tower case for $21.95. No brown, no frills, nothing exciting. You actually have a 5.25 inch drive bay here as well. Go up the price a bit for $39.95, and you have one with RGB and a side panel here, the glass side panel. Last but not least, you have these two very stunning cases, something that I actually really quite like. This is a V1 case by APNX and a V1 case with whitewood. Now the tops have been switched over for some reason. The one that you get with this one would be a black top on a black body. The black one does feature a dark, almost oak walnut effect wood, and it's obviously got the mesh behind there, so it's a 45-degree angle of airflow, so it draws it all in through there. And then obviously with the fact that it's got that glass housing side panels on here with a borderless design, all the air is sucked in and then blown straight back out. Now obviously there's plenty of space in there as well. It's quite hard to see because this is a dark case. The white one you can see in it a little bit better. Now the white one does feature wood as well, but it's a lighter wood as you can see here. And then last but not least, you've got some APNX fans. You've got the FP1 120, FP2 120, and the FP1 140 and 120. Now these are quite very well competitively priced at $13.99 or $9.95 respectively. The cooler looks absolutely fantastic as well. Very modular, very modern, and that's only $19.99.
And that's pretty much it for the coverage of Techmax 24. Didn't get as much footage as I'd initially liked to have recorded. The entire aim of the day was effectively to record as much as physically possible, hence the reason that I bought a copious amount of memory cards, batteries, the cameras, and this new little DJI which you saw me recording from at the start of this video, and it just didn't work out like that. Now the reasoning behind that is because when I turned up, it became very much evident that it's more of a socialising event. So it was an absolutely fantastic opportunity for me to get to meet the people that I've not really met face to face before. And I've spoken to a lot of people within the industry, usually online, and this was obviously the first chance to meet them face to face, so I took advantage of that. I met a lot of people at this day event, and it was an absolutely fantastic event. And unfortunately, because I spent so much time talking, socialising, walking around, getting to know people and really discussing and throwing back some ideas off of each other, it really did have an impact on the recording capabilities. Now I also found that some of the recording capabilities in general were a little bit sketchy, not from any fault of anyone else's, but from my own experience, because I'm not used to walking around with the camera. I need to start working on how to get a more steady shot. For Techmax 25, which is definitely happening, I will leave a link in the description to the Techmax 24 link, and then obviously they will update as basically the information comes. For Techmax 25, I will be attending that. So yes, for Techmax 25, I will be doing a lot of improvements in trying to get more steady shots, and then really sort of prioritising time to get more footage. Now, the day was absolutely phenomenal. As you can see in the video, I did get a chance to cover a lot of the stalls, but there was a marginally large amount of extra stalls that I didn't get to cover. And unfortunately, that's something that I made an error on my behalf. There's going to be lots coming for the channel. Being able to go there and bounce these ideas off with people, and I got my name out there, and I've got some new products coming for the channel as well. For me, it was an invaluable tool to get some more networking, some more potential work for the channel to help the channel grow. And it was just an amazing experience altogether. So if you're looking at an event like this, or you've never been to an event like this, I would 100% recommend going to it. Now, they are trying to market this as the next big thing for the UK. We don't really have anything like this. You've got obviously Insomnia and events like that, but they're not really tech based in the same sense like this. This is effectively going to become the UK version of Computex, and for myself, I'm going to back it as much as I physically can, because it is definitely something that I see has huge potential to do so. The day was absolutely fantastic. Basically what happened throughout the day was I spent some time wandering around, introducing myself to people, and actually felt quite humbled because a lot more people than I realised came up to me and sort of introduced themselves. Hiya Joe, you alright? I've been watching your channel. I'm subscribed to your channel, it's nice to finally meet you. Never really realised that I had an impact on people like that, so it was quite humbling. But I spent a lot of time looking around, checking out the stores, speaking to people, looking at the products that they had to offer, and then obviously discussing the potentials of working with the channel. Now, in doing so, I gained some new friendships from people within the industry that I hold quite dear, and then I also spent a lot of time with some of those that I already work with. Now, targets are one of the primary reasons that the channel is growing as well as it is. Now, Target had a very large stall at the show. I didn't get to cover that. I will try and put some images over this so that you can see what the stall looked like, but the stall from Target was absolutely phenomenal. They obviously don't just have Target, they have lots of sub-brands from Pixel, Logix, Marvo, Prevo, all brands that we've featured on the channel before, but they also work very closely with other brands like Kingston, Lindy, Strong, and they're all brands that you're going to be seeing more of on the channel. Now, I spent a lot of time talking primarily with Scott from Target. He's an amazing guy, and I was really bouncing a lot of ideas off with him. Also, then I spent a lot of time with the likes of Lee over at Antec. Now, Lee is the UK Antec guy, but he's the one that sort of got my foot in the door with a lot of these companies, and he's the one that introduced me to a lot of them. So there's a little bit of a thank you needs to be said to Lee, and it was nice to finally meet him face to face. Also, a huge special mention and thank you to Phil and Jenny. Now, Phil and Jenny are the two people that made this event happen. It's their baby. They spent all their time and effort all year long getting the event to where it was, and it was an outstanding success. And again, a huge thank you for Phil to reaching out to me, introducing himself to me, and giving me the opportunity, and a lot of other people that are in the same sort of industry as me, tech influencers, tech press, tech journalists, tech tubers, basically, giving us the opportunity to go and network and meet more people, and also meet people within the same sort of industry. So a huge thank you to both of you for making that happen. The event itself obviously lasted from 10 till 4 o'clock. That's when the stalls were basically open. Around 4 o'clock is when they started to close down. In between then, there was a lunch that was provided to you. And there was also lots of business talks and conversations and tech roundtables. So if you do work within the industry and you have a business within the industry, you can then go and check those out and see for yourself some more information of how to make your business grow from other people that have very similar mindsets and businesses alike. They also, after the events all sort of closed off and finished, they did a little raffle effectively where a lot of people got in a room and a lot of the vendors that had the stalls all sat down and basically raffled off a load of their products. People were walking away with full systems, big new monitors, cases, peripherals, all sorts, and it was a fantastic opportunity for people to get some freebies. After that, it was a dinner time or tea time, because I'm from Grimsby. It's you get a tea that was provided, all the food was provided by ASUS. Now the food was fantastic, it was a barbecue styled food, and that was a fantastic chance for me to sit down at a table in the waiting area that they'd set up for the award ceremony, to basically sit and wind down and chill down. I'd done 18,500 steps by this point, and it was a great chance for some of the people that I've got to meet in the show, and also some of the people that I've known for a long time, such as Ben from HS Tech. Spent the majority of the day with him, and a lot of other people from Case King and Techwear and other brands alike, where we just sort of sat and chilled down and had a good chat. Then there was the award show where they presented awards to people and companies and businesses that were basically nominated in different brands and topics. After that, it was pretty much time to chill. They did have a little blackjack and a poker or a roulette table, I don't know what the actual one was, at the end of it, where it was no real money involved, it was fun money, and that was a good chance for people to sort of wind down. By that point, it got to a point where we were sort of all a bit tired and just basically drained from a long, exhausting day. That was pretty much it. So as soon as that was all done, I dropped a couple of people off to their hotel and then made my way home. And here we are, an absolutely fantastic event. Unfortunately, the video wasn't quite how I wanted it to be, so I do apologise from myself for not getting full coverage of all the stores and vendors. Now, there are other channels that did cover the event as well that will have some more information and footage or coverage from some of the rest of the stores. I managed to get a lot more potential work for the channel, a lot more potential outreach, and meeting a lot more new people, bouncing off some incredible ideas and meeting some incredible people. So yes, that's pretty much been my coverage of Techmax 24. As you've seen on this video, I will be attending Techmax 25. I will also release a shorter form of this video, so if you don't really want to hear me talking for such a long time, you can obviously then check that out. That's going to be uploaded in the following days, and then I'm also going to be doing some TikToks and Instagram reels and stuff like that of short form content of the said content. So thank you for watching the footage that I've got so far. A huge thank you to Phil and Jenny once again for making the event happen, and for everybody that I did meet at the event, a huge thank you for taking the time to talk to me and bounce some ideas off, and it was just amazing to meet you all. So that's pretty much it. If you like this video, don't forget to go down there, click like and subscribe if you haven't already, because there is so much coming for the channel. And that's pretty much it. So I've been Gadget Joe, this has been my coverage of Techmax 24, and until next one, goodbye.